Welcome to Zoe's Treasures, where the vibe is vintage. Buckle up.
Hey everybody, welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. I'm here with my husband Noel. As usual, he's behind the scenes running our cameras. Hello Southern Charm, Taco Cat Lady, Kirk and Nikki's Favorite Finds, and everybody else who is just joining. Sorry if I am missing some of your names. They're scrolling by me very, very fast right now. Today, normally this would be our Saturday show, but we had some stuff we had to take care of yesterday. And I just, honestly, I wanted to preload everything and I didn't have the time. So everything is now preloaded. Don't expect to do a bunch of randoms today, but feel free to take a look in the auction tab and pre-bid on anything you would like. I do prioritize pre-bids and requests. So if there's anything in the bin or anything else that you want to see, you just let me know. I am always happy to show you. And with that, we are going to get started. And thank you so much, Southern Charm, for sharing that live stream. All right, so let's just jump right into it. This first item we have today is pretty awesome. Let's see, I've got so much stuff today. So this is another charcuterie board. I had one a couple weeks ago that was pretty different, and I think this one's unique too. So you have the little wood base, and it's like the top part of a jar with your little lid with the handle on it. So it looks like kind of like the top of a big old mason jar there, and you've got your wooden pieces. I just thought this was one of the neatest. Like, you could make it a cheese dish, charcuterie board. You can even turn it into a little vignette. And that is up and going. Oh, almost. Let me change the time. And there we go, up and running. We have shipping is capped at $9.21 today. So feel free to fill up your boxes. You will not pay any more than $9.21. And I probably should have said at the very beginning, but happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I am putting my husband to work for Father's Day, so that's just how we do it here. All right, we have a glass pitcher that I am in love with. It is like a cranberry purple color, like somewhere in between purple and cranberry. It is gorgeous, and I love these big old fat like rolls that go all the way down it. You have a clear glass applied handle, no chips or cracks. I do not think it's hand blown.
Thank you.
There's no Ponto mark or anything like that. But that one is up and running, perfect condition. I put purple, but it's somewhere between a purple and a cranberry. Thanks for looking at that one. All right, I have a few Picard pieces today. Now, Picard is one of the very high-end fine china, bone china producers. They are out of England. The first one I have is a syrup dispenser. This is late 1800s, and it is in mint condition for late 1800s. So first off, we have the lid here. You can see all that gold paint on there. It is in perfect condition. There's no paint wear. And then you have the gorgeous syrup container. Beautiful florals around there with that gold. You've got the Picard mark on the bottom. And it comes with the underplate, detached underplate that goes with it. Beautiful, beautiful piece here. And that is up and going. So what is everybody doing this weekend? I had to take my daughter to a birthday party down in Maryland yesterday, and I took advantage of that time to go look at antique stores. Let me tell you, if you're in my talk show on Friday, you're gonna hear this story again.
Celebrating
Father's Day.
Celebrating.
Come on.
All right. So I'm going to get this running. I got to tell you guys a story. We have a sugar and creamer set here. So this is a vintage porcelain sugar and creamer set. Let me get that pin so you can see the details. So pretty. I just love the vintagey look with the grapes on there. Now, the sugar bowl is in mint condition. The creamer, or is it the other way around? Is this the one? One of them had a, no, not this one. I think it's the other set. Yep, no, we're good. No chips or cracks. I have another set that has a little chippy on it, but this one doesn't. Beautiful creamer. And then you have your sugar bowl. And of course, it is a lidded sugar bowl. It is in mint condition. And it has that same decor, that same style as your creamer. So it matches. You get that whole set, $8. Up and going. All right, here's my story. And if you're on my show Friday, on my talk show, you're probably going to hear it then too. But so I went into an antique store, and we live in the country, so a lot of the places we go are kind of very remote type. But I'm in the store, nice big antique store, good size. And of course, I'm in there like 30 minutes and I have to go to the bathroom, as it always is. So I go and ask them, do you have a restroom? Pretty standard question, right? It's a public place. They're like, yeah, no, you could drive 2 miles down the street to use the bathroom at the gas station. And I'm thinking, like, I know this lady's not working there all day long, not using the restroom. And it is one of those things, when I talk about barriers to business and us as sellers having to break down those barriers, that was a huge barrier. Because I'll tell you what, had I had to leave and drive 2 miles down the road, I wouldn't have come back, and they just would have lost a customer at that point. All right, what do we have next? We have a little oil lamp that I found so fascinating because you see these a lot. So you see the oil lamps a lot. Exactly. If they're public, I thought they were supposed to. No, they didn't. But you know what I'm finding more and more in my part of the country here? That's almost more common than I think it should be. So we have a little oil lamp here, and instead of glass, it is actually a pottery piece, which is so, to me, unique. I love it. And it is signed right here. There is a signature. I know it's hard to read. I can't make out exactly what it says either, but it is a signed pottery piece. All you need is your hurricane part on top, or chimney, I guess it's called, and that is up and running. No chips or cracks. Beautiful little oil lamp. Thanks for looking at that. And as usual for me, we have some pottery. Look at this vase. Look at how pretty this vase is. Nice and tall, glazed inside and out, so you can totally use it to put your floral in there. Beautiful blue on the inside. But I just love it. I can't tell if those are flowers or maybe like birds of paradise, which is a flower, but are they supposed to be birds? I don't know, but I love it. It is signed on the bottom. There you go. Yeah, you can kind of see a scribble there. It is signed. And this is a good tall one too. Let's see, this 11 inches tall. And that is up and running. Thank you, Rescued by Michelle, for sharing that live stream. What do we have?
Thank you.
Thank you for looking at that one. All right, I have a mix of glass and pottery and porcelain today. So we have this glass heart, and it is a green glass heart, and it is so pretty because of the various depths of glass that are in here. So you can see it is a heart shaped, and it is hand blown. There is a Ponto mark down there. And maybe we can see from the top of it though, there are no chips or cracks, but there's various depths of like a swirled glass. There you go, and it is so beautiful. And it is in great shape. That is up and running for just $6. Welcome in, CLM Farm. Hey y'all, if you guys aren't following CLM Farm, she is an amazing seller, but she sells tallow from her goats. And it's like a skin cream. You can use it for various purposes. I bought some, and I still need to leave you a review. I was waiting to leave the review until I tried it for a bit. It is amazing. I've been using it on my face every couple of days. I'm just telling y'all, I love this stuff. I'm not a doctor, I don't know medical stuff, but the tallow is amazing. All right. Yes, Rescue by Michelle. So you got some too. Yeah, it cannot say enough good things about it. All right, we have some Shawnee pottery, a creamer, a corn creamer. Does it get any better than a corn creamer? I just don't know. Look at this. This is just so stinking cute, is it not? It does say Shawnee pottery there on the back or on the bottom. No chips or cracks. Mint condition, up and going. Thank you so much for your bid. And CLM Farm, this one's going to you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have some more pottery here. This is not Shawnee pottery, but it is vintage West Coast pottery. It is a set of candlestick holders. They are gorgeous, greens and browns. So you've got all those natural colors. They look like a lotus flower. So they kind of sit like that. You can kind of see they just sit like this. And then the inside are your lotus flowers. Absolutely beautiful. They are marked West Coast on the bottom. However, it's very faint, so I know it's going to be hard for you guys to pick it up. But there is like an imprint that says West Coast. And this is for the pair of them. And that is up and going. Look at those greens in there. Such a beautiful mix of those brown and greens. They did a great job on that glaze. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. Like, I don't know how they do the glaze so well. I've gone to those like paint your own pottery places. I walk out of there with my piece of pottery and it looks like a 4-year-old did it. CLM Farm, thank you very much. Those are heading to you. So when I see glaze that is done that well, I am always impressed.
She gave me a pottery piece. I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, and it was quite interesting.
So yeah, I tried to make him something fancy one time. I went to one of those pottery things and I painted this Star Wars like vase. I don't know. Literally, I think a 4-year-old probably does better than I do. But you know what, I try. It's a thought that counts, right? All right, so we have some beautiful anchor hocking. Hold on though, wait a minute. So I may not be able to paint pottery whatsoever, but I can build things, and I am making him a man cave, like with built-ins, the whole bit. Like we had a whole room drywalled off, and I'm doing all the rest of the work. So I can build, I just can't paint. Yeah, the pottery classes are pretty cool. All right, we're gonna get back to selling here. I'm talking too much. We have some anchor hocking. These are like champagne or wine glasses. I think they would look gorgeous as vases. I love the little bubbly, I don't know if you can see, we'll turn it this way, at the bottom. I think they are so pretty. There's 2 different sizes, so it's coming as a set, so you get both of those sizes. And they are up and running. That's right, we all are skilled in different things. That's the way it is. Thanks for looking at those. All right, we have another creamer. This is a little pottery piece here. And I say little, it's actually really good size. And it has like a spongeware design. It is definitely vintage. There is some chippies around the top, which I think in this case it really adds to it. I don't think it deters from that design. It's very rustic, very primitive looking. There are, I say no markings, but there's not. No markings on the bottom. So I'm not sure who makes it. And that's running now. Thanks for looking at that one. All right, so I have a few pieces of Jasperware. I'm going to start with one. If there's interest, we'll keep going. If not, we'll just kind of maybe come back to it later on in the show. But the first thing I'm going to show you is we have a set of 9 of these. Let me pin it so you can kind of see the vision here, and I'm pretty sure this is what the person who owned these at one time did. So there are 9 lids, and they're all just a tad bit different. And the person who owned them, all except this one, had put little hot glue and hooks on here and had them hung up. So if you see the picture that's there, it's like they're in a design. These would be so gorgeous to create, like hang on a wall in a kitchen, or to add to like in little spots on a gallery wall. But there are 9 of them. But let me show you what some of them. So like we have different sizes here. And you can see whoever owned them before put some hooks on there. No chips or cracks. They are in great shape, but they would be beautiful. They're all different to kind of like hook them up on a gallery wall. So I'm just putting 3 up here, but there are 9. You can see all 9 in the pictures, no chips or cracks, and those are up and running. Thanks for your bid. And CLM Farm, those are going to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just in case you want to add to that, I have one more set of lids.
Thank you for sharing the live stream.
Yes, thank you very much. I have one more set of lids. Let me just pin those up. These shapes are a little bit different. Exact same concept. They're all Jasperware lids. This is a set of 6 though, and the shapes are a little bit different. So we have some that are more oval, but they too also have like a little hook you can hang them on the back. So we have some that are oval. We have a couple more that are like the round. And then there is one that's a little bit larger. I think this was a saucer, and I thought that would look so cute in the middle. But we're going to run, this is actually a set of 6. The other 2 are sitting right here. We'll run those. And those are up and going. Thanks for your bid. And CLM Farm, thank you very much. And put them back in this.
Thank you.
I've had them all sitting in this box to keep them together here. So let's. My high-tech way of organization, just a bunch of little boxes I keep together. All right, let's take a look at a piece of glass. This is another beautiful piece of like a cranberry purplish glass. So it is a cornucopia shape. Now, I had a hard time figuring out, I put in there in the description that it's possibly flashed. And I say that because I don't know if you can see it right in here. It looks like there may be some scratches where I see clear. That indicates to me that it may be flashed. So I wanted to disclose that, but it is in great shape, no chips or cracks. It is very beautiful. Let's see if we put it like that, if you can see it. All right. I don't know, I'm really trying to get so you can kind of see. See, they're hard to pick up, but there you go. You can see like right in there. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and give that a run. I'm actually gonna drop the price down on that a little bit here. No chips or cracks, just those couple of little scratches, but they're not like in your face scratches. And that is up and running. I typically won't buy flashed glass just because it does have that tendency to scratch. I got a few pieces that came in an auction lot. I'm like, these are still beautiful pieces. So. Thanks for looking at that. We have one more piece of glass. This one also is flashed, but it is beautiful. I love anything with birds, and I just love the little design on this one. This would make a great little vase. There is right around the rim, very few spots where you can see it's just wore off just a tad bit around the rim. Nothing super noticeable. Other than that, it is in perfect condition. And that is up and going for just $1. So speaking of glass, we just had an auction close. I do purchase a lot of my stuff at auctions or estates. For the most part, I'll do some of the thrift store stuff too, but the majority is auctions. We just had an auction close right before the show started. I was sitting there most of the morning monitoring the auction on my computer, and I'm going to be in Battle of the Best in a couple of weeks, and I had 3 or 4 items in there that I'm like, okay, this is what I want for Battle of the Best. I end up spending way too much money, but I got some of the coolest stuff. I cannot wait to pick it up. So now I have a choice of 3 or 4 items to pick from Battle of the Best. Tabitha, I've never seen a stuff like yours. That is so neat. Oh, thank you so much. That is all my husband.
Thank you.
Let's see here. All right. Do we have any just pottery lovers? Those of you who like have pottery in your heart. I have a Royal Hager here that is stunning. It is, let me pin it so you can get all the details. This one will ship alone. But it is a Royal Hager. It is called the Earth Wrap, and it has the greens and the oranges that go all the way around, or the browns and the oranges. So you have mainly the green, and look at the light shining off that glaze. That's just like the most stunning glaze. It is a big old picture Royal Hager, and the Earth Wrap here has a mix of glazed and unglazed spots on it. So like these browns are unglazed. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous Royal Hager. It's the front, and of course you have that Royal Hager mark on the bottom. No chips or cracks. It is in mint condition. I think he's pretty amazing. I think I'll keep him for a while. Except when he messes up my screen like that. Better watch out. We're going to fire you.
I know, Miss Michelle. I'm fired.
Thank you for taking a look at this one. All right, what is next on our list? Oh, I have another Jasperware piece. So this is a little coffee or teacup, whatever your heart desires, Jasperware. So you get the cup. And Jasperware is just so pretty. The blue reminds me of a Tiffany blue. Mint condition, no chips or cracks. And of course you get your little saucer that goes with it. And that is Wedgwood Jasperware. $5 for that little set. Up and going. Thank you so much for your bid. And Bella's mom, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one final piece of Jasperware today, and you've unlocked the bronze tier.
Welcome to bronze level.
Our final piece of Jasperware are 3 ashtrays. And look at, they're so beautiful. I mean, you can obviously have the little indents where like you would put a cigarette or something, but I think these are gorgeous. They don't have to be used as ashtrays. So we have 3 that are no chips or cracks. There's no hooks on the back, so this one, whoever had them, didn't put hooks on these. Now the third one, though, it's physically fine, but it does have, like, it's kind of dirty. Like it needs, like, maybe to take a brush or something and kind of clean it off on the inside. But it's still in great shape. It's just, I don't know what they put on there. So we have 3 of those up and going. You get all 3. And those are going now. Thanks for your bid. And CLM Farm, thank you so much.
On its way to you.
Y'all, if you're unlocking, which way? This way. Unlocking your tiers, go up here, make sure you're clicking on that crown and getting your coupons. All right, look at this gorgeous Lenox piece. This is stunning. Let me get it pinned for you. Beautiful Lenox tray, and this is in mint condition. No chips or cracks, no paint wear. It is the Valencia pattern. Just, I mean, mint condition. Like, this is one of those pieces that somebody bought and then just displayed and never used. And that is going now. It is the gold stamp Lenox. Let's see if we can, well, there we go. All right, we'll turn it over. It is the gold stamp Lenox. I do have a Lenox piece that does have the blue or the green stamp on it, which I've been told is the older Lenox. This is still vintage, just not quite as old. Thank you so much for your bid. And Bella's mom, thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful platter
Thank
there.
you.
That is one you can use year round. That is not seasonal. All right, let's take a look. While we're doing Lenox, let's just skip over, and I'm going to just do all the Lenox. I think I have 2 or 3 pieces. This is the other one. Let's see. I have 2 pieces. So this is the other Lenox we have. If you really like Lenox, I do have another platter. Maybe I'll go grab that in a second here. But look at this one. So this is the Acanthus. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It is gorgeous though. Lenox, this is the blue stamp, which means it's a little bit older than those gold stamps. Mint condition too. No chips or cracks. I love the shape of it. And that's going now. It is 9 inches across. I like how it like kind of comes up higher on one end. Thanks so much for looking at that one. All right, what do we have going on? A piece of pottery. Surprise, surprise. I always have pottery. I bring pottery home and my husband's like, why are you bringing home more pottery? All right, this is an Italian piece of pottery. And I like it because it's gray for one, which is a unique, kind of a unique color because it's such a like a, I don't want to say matte gray, but it's more of like the gray that's popular lately. And it shows a little cafe scene. Like just how Italian is that? Like it just, I don't know, reminds me of like sipping coffee at some Italian cafe. It's a little bowl, it'd be great for a trinket dish. Now it does have this call out right down here by my finger. See if we turn it like that. It is not a chip, but it's like the paint got scraped a bit. Nice heavy piece. And that's going now. You know what, I always forget. I'm gonna run a giveaway. I'm gonna get that started. We are doing a My Vibe is Vintage sticker and some ephemera to go with it. I'll show you that real quick here. So you will get a original Zoe's Treasures My Vibe is Vintage sticker, and you'll get this vintage inspired postcard. This one's mushrooms, and then some other ephemera. Just I'll go back and look at what I have in storage, maybe some pages from a dictionary, old pictures or whatever I find, but I'll put a little ephemera package together. So that is the giveaway that is up and going right now. And we'll go back to our auction. All right, so up next is a McCoy piece. Let's see if I can find it. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Here we go. So this is a gorgeous, one of the miniature wash basins and pitchers. And it is McCoy. And it's very creamy. That's what I like about this one. It's like an off-white cream color, which is just so soft. You know, those gorgeous flowers on there. No chips or cracks. It doesn't say McCoy on the bottom, but it is marked with the number and USA. And if you look that up, it does tie back to a McCoy pattern. There is crazing, so it is crazed, but no chips or cracks. And again, I just love that creamy look to it. It's so pretty. And these are the type of pieces you can use them together or you can separate them and put them in different parts of your house. Thank you for looking at that one. All right, we have a set of 6. Normally with dishes, I do like sets of 2, but these ones all kind of match. So before I break them up, I wanted to try to see if somebody wanted them as a set. So these are from Bavaria, a set of 6 saucers. They're what, 7.5-inch diameter, so small plates are larger saucer size, but they are all floral. So they're all part of the same set, but each one is a different floral pattern. There are no chips or cracks. One of them does have a tiny little flea bite. If I see it, oh, there it is. It's on the bottom one. So you get all the different ones. So they're the same but different from the same set. And again, before I break them up, this is my favorite. I love that pattern right there. This is one, a tiny little flea bite right here where my finger is. Other than that, they're in great condition. We're going to put my favorite one on the top. And it is for all 6 of those. And that's going down. And then eventually, if somebody doesn't want all 6, we'll end up breaking them up and selling them in sets of 2 like I normally would do. These would be great on a wall too. Like you can do a really cool like wall with all the flowers. Very granny core. All right, we have another sugar and creamer here. So this one, I'm actually gonna drop down a bit in price because this is the one that does have a chip on the creamer. Both pieces are crazed, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And I love the little design. This is the rose, Tudor rose design with a mint green around it. Now the chip on this one is right there. I did a close-up. If you look at the pictures, there's a close-up of the chip. That is the only call out. The sugar bowl is in mint condition, nothing at all wrong with that. Just that chip on that creamer. But I love the crazing on this one. But we are gonna drop the price down here. We're gonna go to $3 for the set. And that is up and going. I was so disappointed. This was when I had bought it. And the minute I walked out of the store, I was just kind of like looking at it and I realized it had a chip and I'm like, oh. Usually I do better than that, but it's still pretty enough. All right, thanks for looking. All right, this next piece, I don't know how vintage this is. This is one of those ones that I picked up because I thought it was gorgeous. So it is a large platter. It is made in China. Typically I avoid made in China items, but this is beautiful. Is this not so summery? The yellow background is like everything on this. So those gorgeous flowers almost kind of reminds me of poppies. And you've got that beautiful butterfly down there. No chips or cracks. It is 12.5-inch diameter. It is in perfect shape and it's just the most prettiest pattern. That is up and going. Who is going to win our giveaway? Leah Kaylor 12. Leah, thank you so much, first of all, for coming into our
Congratulations.
show. We really appreciate that. You're going to get a My Vibe is Vintage sticker, a postcard, and some other ephemera. Thank you for looking at that platter. You know what? We're just going to set it down instead of trying to put it back up. I start to take things apart on my shelves and then I'm like, I'm never going to put it back the right way. All right, so let's take a look at these bowls. So I have 4 bowls and a vase that match. These are pottery bowls. I'm selling these one at a time just because this is the type of bowl you can just have one of and be okay with it because it's a piece of art in itself. Great for actual use, cereal, salads, whatever it may be, soup, but they're also good for like a trinket dish. So they are unique studio pottery pieces. They are all, each bowl is individually signed by the artist. I love the unglazed basket weave around the bottom, and then you've got that gorgeous maroon and blue at the top. So we're gonna do one bowl at a time if there is interest in that. And that is up and going. And it is 6 1/4 inches across, so it's kind of a standard bowl size. I really like the glazed and the unglazed. I kind of like that mix of the two together. I think is a very beautiful pattern. Thanks for looking at that. All right, let's take a look at some Johnson Brothers plates. So I have 2 sets of these. So I'm getting back to my normal doing stuff in 2s. These are the Harvest Time plates. They are not the ironstone ones. Looks like we have a pre-bit on there. So they're not the ironstone ones, but they are absolutely gorgeous. So these are in perfect shape, no chips or cracks. They do have crazing, which, you know, that crazing makes everything better. So they are matching, the exact same ones. They do say that Harvest Time Johnson Brothers on the back. And those are up and going. Thank you so much for your bid on those. Thank you for sharing the live stream. I appreciate that, Bella's mom. And Laura, these are going to you. Thank you very much. I will go ahead and run
Thank
the other
you.
two. In case you're a family of four, you just want more to decorate with, or if somebody else wants to bid. They are the exact same. The Harvest Time Johnson Brothers. No chips or cracks. They do have crazing. And it is a set of 2 of these plates. And those are up and going now. Thank you so much for your bid. Laura, thank you. Congratulations.
On its way to
And
you.
you've unlocked the bronze tier. All right. I have
Welcome
never
to
found an
bronze level.
anthropology piece in the wild until like recently. And here it is. I was super excited to find an anthropology piece. Look at that. Look at how cool this is. It looks like it's an owl, and the actual spout to the creamer or the pitcher, whatever you'd use it for, is its beak. Just so like understated in that design there. It is beautiful, mint condition, no chips or cracks. I don't know if it's ever even been used. And it is the anthropology. We're going to go ahead and get that going right now. Thank you so much for your bid. And Leah, congratulations. Thank you. I have what do I have? 3 milk glass pieces today. So the first one's going to be this vase here. Let me get it pinned. And Chasing Daisies is rating with a party of 6. Well, thank you so much. Chasing Daisies, please put in the chat what you sell and when your next show is. And if you guys like that, please give them a follow. And we'll run the next item at $1 in honor of Chasing Daisies. So we have this milk glass vase here, and it is getting washed out. Let's see if we can switch to the other camera, because I want you to see the pattern on here. The pattern is so pretty. It is like, it's called Lace and Dewdrop. So Chasing Daisies Vintage Decor, Sundays at 11 a.m. So let's see, can we switch over to this camera, honey? I'm gonna fire you. You got be on it now, mister. Come on. Thank you, Chasing Daisies. I appreciate that. We are having a great show so far, and I hope you had a good show. Can you do this camera? Thank you. There we go. All right. What I wanted you to see was this gorgeous pattern on there. So we have a scalloped edge, and it's just beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and get that going at $1 in honor of Chasing Daisies and the raid. And that is up and going. And if you have come over with Chasing Daisies, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasure. And the guy not listening to me behind the camera is my husband. So I guess he has a right not to listen to me every now and then. Hi, Chaco Dog.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to get everything in place.
And Megan, thank you so much. This is heading home to you. That is a beautiful one. I've
Thank
never
you.
seen that like lace and dewdrop pattern before. Let's see what other milk glass I have. We'll do all 3 pieces. I see a pre-bid on one of them. Let's do this one and then we'll go to the next one. All right. I love milk glass banana boats. They're gorgeous. So this one is not marked Westmoreland. I could not find the little W like emblem. However, in all my research, everything came up as this being Westmoreland. So because I saw an overwhelmingly amount saying is Westmoreland, I'm going with that. But look at this banana boat. Look at that pedestal. No chips or cracks. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And you know what you can use these for? What I use these for, besides bananas. You can roll up washcloths or towels and put these in a bathroom. They're stunning that way. And this one is up and going. Thank you so much for your bid. I get you so you can see all sides there. There we go. Let's turn it like that. There it goes. It is Westmoreland, so it's good. I'm glad I got confirmation. I hate to say, MLE, thank you so much. This is heading home to you. I hate to like say definitively if I don't see a mark, but like everything I looked at said that's what it was. So I'm glad to hear that somebody agrees and they're like, yes, it is Westmoreland. All right, we have this little piece here. So this little candy dish, let me go ahead and get it pinned. So we have this little Fenton candy dish here. Look at that scallopy edge, the hobnail design, no chips or cracks. Love the little two handles. It's just cute as a button. And that is going now. Thank you so much for your pre-bid. I appreciate that. And Bella's mom, that's heading your way. Thank you. Milk glass is so fun. You can do so much with milk glass. And Bella's mom, you unlocked the silver
Welcome to
tier.
silver level.
All right. So we have some pottery here. This is Mexican pottery, but it's different Mexican pottery than what I normally have access to. So let's see, how do I say this, honey? Help me out. Patambam, Michoacan. Okay, you say it better than I do. So this is this is like more southern Mexico. It's south of Veracruz, where this would have originated from. And look at it has the swans. Swans are so popular. So this would kind of fit in with your cottagecore look also. Now it is a little chippy due to its age. Well, it's just consistent with the age. It's a gorgeous piece. Love the glaze on this. I have two of these in different sizes, and this is for the larger size. So this is the 11.5 by 9 inch size. The greens are so pretty on this one. And thank you so much for taking a look at that. Let me just scroll down. All right, so that brings us to another piece of glass.
Usually those are serving dishes. My grandma used to serve chiles and beans, or you can put chilaquiles for like the breakfast morning.
Everything is with beans in our house, beans and tortillas. All right, look at this piece of glass. My husband's like, all right, either that or Chick-fil-A. Let's just be honest here. My husband's Mexican. He married a white girl, so it's a strange combination of food we have going on. Yes, I know, me too. All right, we have this gorgeous paperweight. Now, maybe you guys know, I couldn't find a maker on this. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's like this brown amber color. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. It is a paperweight, nice smooth bottom. But it has this little indentation like it may be an ashtray, but I don't think it was. I really don't think it's an ashtray. Like the hole is too small up here at the opening. It's gorgeous though. Very unusual piece of glass. And we're gonna go ahead and get that started. It is just so pretty though. The coloring on it, like it's somewhere between this deep kind of rustic brown and a amberish color. And thanks for looking at that one. Let's take a look at another Picard piece. This is a small This is a small, like serving tray, or you can put it underneath a trinket dish or something. So it's another Picard bone china piece. And it is trimmed in that gold, which is just so pretty. It is in mint condition. It is unglazed on the back here, which is kind of neat. This would be so pretty. You can put a cloche on this. Oh, that would look gorgeous with a cloche on this one. And that is up and running. And if you like cloches, I just picked up like 8 antique cloches. And I will be bringing those to future shows. So they are, need to go through them. I'm going to keep 1 or 2 so I can make some type of really neat like vignette or something under the cloche. But the rest of them I'm just going to auction as the cloche themselves. Kavenica? I am slaughtering your name. Let's just say Cove. Thank you so much for your purchase. I appreciate that. Congratulations. Covina. All right, Covina. I will remember that now. Thank you for helping me out. It does, and cloches are just so beautiful. Have you ever like looked up, like just gone to Pinterest and looked up how to decorate cloches? Oh, so many good designs. I've been buying some little other books. I've been buying stuff so I can put 1 or 2 together. All right, we have, this is another Picard piece. This was a set. This set is actually the yellow. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what, let's go ahead and we'll do that really quick first, Shell, and then we'll come back to this piece since I hadn't even really started talking about that. All right, let me get that plate pin. Put it over here. Here we go. Hopefully this is the one you're talking about. This is so pretty. So this is a made in China piece. I don't think it deters from it whatsoever. There are no chips or cracks. It is so pretty. Just the yellow and the reds or the orange, reddish orange. I think they look like poppies. And that is up and going. I'm going to show you. It does say made in China on the back. Thank you for your bid. And y'all, just like Shell did, if there's anything you want me to run, why owe me, Dawn? Congratulations. Feel free to ask. I am always happy to jump around. Or if I don't see your pre-bid right away, it does not offend me at all. I am happy to try to make something work for you. All right, so we're going to go back to this. So, all right, this is an antique Picard, late 1800s. The flowers are the blue forget-me-nots. This piece is actually a set of 3 vanity pieces that Picard made that all went together. I have 2 of the 3. I'm just selling them separate because if I tried to sell them all 3 together, the price would be too crazy high. So we have the blue forget-me-nots. It is in mint condition, no chips or cracks, and you've got that Picard mark on the bottom. And it's so pretty. This is kind of cottagecore, grannycore with the blues, that soft blue on there. Thank you so much for your bid. I'm going to grab the other one that I have just in case somebody may be interested.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bella's mom.
Thank you so much, Bella's mom. All right, so this one's going to Bella's mom, and then I have another piece that matches it. Like I said, originally Picard made 3-piece vanity set. And I was lucky enough to come across 2 of them together. So this is the other piece. I will run this as a random item. So this one just is a little bit different. It is the exact same pattern. It is those blue forget-me-nots, same maker. And look at the legs on that. How cool are the legs on that? And then you've got your bottom there. It kind of comes down to this little point. No chips or cracks. And let me just find my random. Yeah, you had it somewhere. Maybe I have to do a quick search for it. There we go. All right, so we're going to just run this as a random item. And we'll run this one for $10. And it is for this beautiful Picard antique little trinket dish here. Thank you so much for your bit on that. I wish the third piece would have been with it because it's such a pretty set. And Bella's mom, that is going to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It's so soft, those colors. All right, let's see here. Me too. I really love those. They're very pretty. Even prettier in person when you see it. All right, where were we? Scrolling. Okay, Longaberger. I have a set, not a basket, a set of Longaberger coasters. These are, I didn't list them as new old stock, but they are in perfect condition. So the front of all of the coasters are the same pattern. They're like a ceramic, and then the back, they even have like their little divider papers in between. The back is a cork, so it doesn't scrape up anything. They are all the same pattern here. Let me pull up the little papers. We'll put it on there so you can see it. It is a set of 4 Longaberger coasters, and those are up and gone. I don't think they've been used because, like I said, they still had the little paper. Maybe there's a little spot here, but they are still in a perfect shape. Thanks for looking at those. All right, next up is a perfect bowl for primitive, rusty, crusty type decor. This one's actually made in Japan. It looks very similar to some of the stuff we get in Mexico, but this one is actually made in Japan. This is stained and crazed. Love the painting on it. Hand painting, floral design. And then inside, look at all that staining and crazing. How gorgeous is that? And then on the bottom, it says made in Japan. No chips or, well, there's a little like flea bites here. There is a crack line in the inside, but I cannot see it or feel it coming through to the outside. And that's up for just $5. But I love the staining and crazing on that one. Thanks for looking at that. I have another piece of red glass here, if I can find it in my list somewhere. So this one, I didn't know if it was a flower or a starfish, honestly. But it is a paperweight. It is pretty neat. I love the red. It has kind of like the glass is like folded in, so you can kind of feel it folded in. But it looks kind of like a starfish. Maybe it looks like a flower. It is a fun little paperweight. It's in great shape. No chips or cracks, and that is going down for just $5. Thank you for your bid. Wyoming Dawn, that's heading your way. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a little sugar bowl here. This is another Picard piece. Almost mint condition. The only call out on here is a tiny bit of paint wear on the sides of the handle. So like somebody held it like this, a little bit of paint wear. Very classic white and gold. No chips or cracks. I love the classic look of that. And that is going down. I have a huge sugar and creamer set. We're starting to sprinkle it into the shows. I've got to make some space and clean some stuff out. So you will be seeing some more of that. Most of the ones that I have, though, that I buy, I'm more drawn to the glass sugar and creamer sets. Let's see, let's do this piece here. So this is a fun either like charcuterie board or cheese dish, whatever you can think of to put in there. It would also be cute to put a little vignette in there. So it is a 3-piece set. You get the top, which is wood, and I'm pretty sure that little handle is wood. It's like a little white handle on the top. And then you get your glass piece. It is open on both sides. It looks like the top of like a big mason jar. And then you have your bottom wooden piece here with the grooves that the glass fits into. So you get all 3 pieces. You can even put like little cupcakes or something in there. That would be so cute. And that is up and running. I think it's adorable. I had one a couple weeks ago that had like 3 pieces to it. It was really neat. But this one's cute too. I like the ones that are just a little bit different. You know what? Let me go ahead and start another giveaway. Thank you for your bid. Wyoming Dawn, that is going to you. Congratulations. We just started a giveaway. It is for another My Vibe is Vintage sticker, postcard, and a little ephemera pack. So you will get a My Vibe is Vintage sticker, little vintage inspired postcard, and some other ephemera that I will put in there to make a little ephemera pack for you. That giveaway is up and going. And now let's take a look at this one. If you like purple glass, this is so neat. I was talking to a guy at an antique store, asking them how they made purple glass. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but he had told me that purple glass is like, they put it under special lights to speed up the aging process, which turns it purple. Don't know all the technicalities of it, but it was an interesting conversation. We're going to go ahead and run this one. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous picture. Has an applied clear glass handle on it. I love these big old fat rolls going down there. Just gives it a really unique look. No chips or cracks. And that is going now. And I love the coloring of the purple glass. Welcome in if you're just joining. My name's Tracy, this is Zoe's Treasures, and we are just doing vintage variety today. So usually on the weekends, my shows are usually on Saturdays at 4. Had some other commitments and stuff, so we couldn't make it yesterday. I do try not to change, but you know, sometimes it happens. Life. Anyways, on Saturdays, I usually do like a curate. It's usually a theme, but every 4 to 5 weeks, I will do just vintage variety. And that's what we're doing today, which is just a little bit of everything. If you are new to me, please come check out my shows. I do a chat show every Friday morning at 7 a.m. and that is for buyers and sellers in life. This week, so we have some really exciting stuff coming up for the next 2 weeks. So this Friday, I'm going to talk about packaging. I'm going to show you all the supplies, where I get them, how I would normally package something. So if you're new or just thinking about starting, it's going to be a great show. If you're experienced, please come and share some of your wisdom. We'd love to hear it. Then the next Friday, we are going to have a special guest on. So I'm going to announce that guest coming up soon, but we are going to have a special guest. My husband's working out all the details right now, co-host with us, so that'll be fun. All right, so let's do our next item, which is this little pottery oil lamp. So normally you see these in their glass. This one is pottery, which I thought was really neat, and it is signed. So the artist did sign it right there. And I love the blue and the yellow, or the blue and the yellow, the blue and the cream colors on this one. And you know what, let's drop the price down just a little bit here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get that going. Too much fun for her. See, I'm reading the chat. Some of it's like I'm reading the chat, and my husband's having all these conversations, and I'm just trying to stay caught up. All right, thank you for looking at that. Let's take a look at this vase, and then we'll do a glass item. We'll switch between pottery and glass. Look at the gorgeousness of this vase. This is 11 inches tall, and it's just so beautiful. Just the painting on there, the pictures on there. This could be used year-round. Blue on the inside. It is signed by the artist. It is a studio pottery piece. It is in perfect condition. And that is up and going. I'll bring my keyboard over here so I can change prices easier. Thank you so much for your bid. Wyoming Dawn, that is going to you. Thank you so much. I have these glasses I just realized I didn't run. I'm going to run them. Let's see. Let's
Thank
pin
you.
them. And we'll run them. So I have 2 of these glasses.
Welcome to Silver Level.
These are actually, I don't know, you can use these as like a dessert glass. You can just use them as a piece of art. They are both signed by R. Foster. So I know you're not going to be able to pick it up on camera, but both of these have R. Foster signature on them. So they are signed art glass. It is a set of 2. And look how cool this is, that you have the clear glass on the bottom and it's like it's coming up and hugging the green. So they're both just a little bit unique because they are handmade pieces. And our giveaway, Sue Murr. Sue Murr, congratulations. Sue Murr, 72904. Thank you, first of all, for coming into the show. I greatly appreciate that. I do appreciate all support of people just even hanging out, talking, just being here. So you get a My Vibe is Vintage sticker. You get a vintage-inspired postcard, and I'll be adding in some other ephemera to make you a little ephemera pack. All right, so these are 2 pieces of art glass. They match, but they are a little bit different because they're handmade and they are signed by the artist. We are going to run these as an auction. We're going to run them for $10 for the set, and they are up and going. Let's see, we can turn it like that so you can see them. They are so just unique looking. They're really pretty. Thanks for looking at that. Let's run another sugar and creamer set here. So we are going to run this sugar and creamer. This is really like your granny core. This is like what your typical porcelain that you would think of in a sugar and creamer. It has the grapes on one side, blueberries on the other, no chips or cracks, same type of grapes and blueberries, perfect condition, very antique looking. They're vintage, not antique, but they are gorgeous. And those are up and running for the set. So I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, somebody I work with at my 9 to 5, and so I sell a lot of like fine china, stuff like that, and she's a young girl. I don't know exactly because it's not proper to ask age, but I'm guessing maybe she's like 29, 30, 31, around that age group. And she just got married recently, and we were talking about china. She goes, yeah, I actually registered for a whole set of china. And I was so excited because like it just gives me hope in the youth because people usually don't register for china anymore. So I thought that maybe that was a sign that china sales will be good in the future. All right. We have, are you firing Tim now? No. All right, we have a beautiful green heart.
No, I did not say that.
Pegmon, hi, how are you? All right, look at this beautiful green heart. It is a glass paperweight. It is hand blown. There's a nice Pontail mark on the back there. Right there. And what's really cool about this, you can kind of see that heart shape if I got my fat finger out of the way, is it's like a beautiful thick swirl of glass coming up through that heart. Let me get you a view from the top so you can see it. We're going to go ahead and start that auction for just $5. You can give somebody your heart. See how sweet that would be? Thank you for looking at that one. All right, look at this piece of glass. These are so fun. So this is Anchor Hocking. It's a set of 2 like wine or champagne glasses. So you get the taller one and you get the little shorter one. But look at the bubbles around the bottom. I just love the little clear bubbles and that gorgeous ruby red top on there. These would also be great. Like you can fill them up with something, which I just may end up, if they don't go today, I may end up filling them up with marbles or something. I've got a bunch of glowy marbles I just got from auction, so I'm excited to find things to fill up with these glowy marbles. Those are up and going, just $5 for both of those. We're heading towards the last call. Not quite there yet. I'm still going to show a few more items. But if there's anything you want to see, let me know. Always, always happy to go and show you. But I do like to give fair warning when we're starting to get close, just in case. All right, let's take a look at this one. This is a simple piece. We're going to run it for just $1. I do think it is flashed glass, but I love the birds on there. It is so pretty. This would be a great one just to put on your desk and add a touch of, like, I don't know, feminine beauty to a desk with the flowers on there. And we're going to run that for just $1, up and going. Thank you so much for your bid. And Pegmon, that is heading to you. Congratulations and thank you. All right. This is the star of the show today. This is my favorite piece. This is a Royal Hager. I'm going to hold this like it's a baby. I am in love with this picture. First of all, I've been in love with green lately. I don't know, I've been all about the green. I'm not quite sure why, but I have been. And this is just a stunning piece of pottery. So let me get it pinned. You can see all the details on it. It is a little higher price than a wood ship alone, but 100% well worth it for the price that it is. The glaze is stunning, and then you have some unglazed portions on purpose. This is called an earth wrap pattern, so it looks like the earth is wrapping around this. And, I mean, once you know the name and you look at it, you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. And you can tell the parts that are unglazed here, so like you can see in here is unglazed. Beautiful, beautiful, mint condition, Royal Hager. Noted there on the bottom. Nice big piece of pottery. And that is going to go right now up and running. Thank you for your purchase from the bin. I appreciate that. Y'all, my bin, I know, I've got to apologize for the state of my bin. I have been so busy lately. Thank you for looking at this. I have not loaded it up. I have a whole table sitting within eyesight right now, covered in stuff that I need to photograph and get in my bin. I got to get on my game. All right, we are going to run, so before we finish today, I do want to run a $5 gift card. Just FYI, my shipping showed free. You might want to know. I would assume it's... Oh, well, thank you for letting me know. I do have reduced shipping, so anything after $9.21, that's as much as you're going to pay, and then anything after that, I'll pick up and pay for, but I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you. All right, so we are running a $5 Starbucks gift card. Funny story, if you ever go and order gift cards from Starbucks, I got to look at a mail order because I went in there and I ordered 50. They have to ring them up individually, and I really felt that, like, by the time they were done, that I should have gone down the line behind me and just handed out gift cards to apologize. It was pretty bad. I need to find a better way to buy those. All right, let's see here. What's next? Let's run something else. Let's take a look at the McCoy. So this is so pretty. This is a McCoy, the miniature size. I don't know if it's miniature, the small size, wash basin and pitcher. We're probably going to drop the price a little bit on this one. But no chips or cracks, beautiful creamy color. And I love that creamy color with those gorgeous flowers on there. And if you don't like the flower, there is a plain side. It is in great condition. It is marked on the bottom with the number 7511. And then, of course, you've got the basin. The basin does have some stunning crazing going on with it. And that is up and running. just $11. Thank you so much for looking at that. So I showed the bowls earlier. I'm going to show the vase now. This matches some of the bowls that are also listed in the auction tab. But it is so pretty. So it is just a little pottery piece, studio pottery piece here. And it has the top, which is that maroon and the blue. And again, it matches the bowls that are in the auction tab. And then you have that really neat unglazed like basket weave going around the bottom. I know there was this, oh, it is. There is a signature right here. You can kind of see that slightly above my finger. So it is a signed studio pottery piece. And that is up and going. And I love the look from the top because you can kind of see the blues from the top of it. And just like how it looks like little flowers spilling around there. Thank you for looking at that. We're going to talk about this paperweight again. I just thought of this. I thought it was an ashtray at first. It's not an ashtray. I know that. It is a paperweight. How cool. This would be like perfect to put next to your sink. It's like the perfect size to put rings in there. Like I can just drop my ring in there. Like it's a perfect size to put next to your sink and put your little rings in there. So anyways, oh, you want me to do it? There we go. We got to demonstrate here. My husband's showing it now. We got to demonstrate. Look at that. Perfect size. I just love it. I think it is so pretty. And the coloring is like this, kind of like this chocolatey amber color. Spoon red. Oh, maybe. See, y'all are so much smarter than me. That may be it. We're going to go ahead and run it though. No chips or cracks. It's just beautiful. It is up and going. The color, oh, look at that. It's like a kaleidoscope. You see me regular and see me mini. There you go. Thanks so much for looking at that one. All right, that gift card has about a minute left. Y'all, if you are a seller, put your shows in the chat, please. Let us know what you sell, when your next show is. I'm always happy to share the love. There is plenty to go around. Look at this today. We've had an awesome show so far. I'm going to still show a couple more items. We've had an awesome show. And you know what? There's like 40-something shows going on right now. That just tells me that there is more than enough whatnot to go around for all of us. Yes, anything with coffee is a good idea, Southern Charm. I 100% agree on that. So please, if you're a seller, throw your show in the chat. And I'm going to show a few more items while that gift card is running. Got about 30 seconds. This is an awesome bowl for your primitive rustic kind of decor. Rusty, crusty decor, because it is stained and crazed, but it still has the gorgeous hand painting on it. It is a made in Japan bowl. And that is going down. I love the primitive decor that also has some of like the flower look to it or some color. Who's going to win our $5 gift card? Stitchy Love. What a cute name. Thank you so much for coming to Zoe's Treasure. And you're going to get a $5
Congratulations.
Starbucks gift card so you can get yourself a coffee or a tea or a little treat. There is still stuff you can buy for $5 at Starbucks. Full disclosure here, I used to be a Dunkin' girl, diehard Dunkin' fan, and I have crossed to the other side. I think over the last year, I am now 100% Starbucks. I'll still do Dunkin', but I think first choice for me is Starbucks. All right, let's take a look at this, and then I think we're going to raid somebody. This is a set of 6 floral porcelain plates. They are from Bavaria. They are absolutely beautiful. Each one is a different flower. No chips or cracks, but the one with the daisies had a tiny little flea bite on the rim, but it is very small. They are so pretty. If nobody buys the 6, I will end up breaking them up and selling them individually. And that is up and going. And I have to run right over here really quick. My husband's going to entertain you for a minute.
If we go back at some point, we'll make sure to bring more coffee. And when we came back the first time from Mexico, we brought some, and we were putting some of the bags that we brought with giveaways, but we ran out. So if we bring some back, we'll make sure to share some of that wonderful coffee that we bring. Anyway, thank you for looking at that. And she is back.
Sorry, y'all. All right. Normally during shows, I try not to walk away unless I'm getting you something, but I drank a little too much coffee and I had to run to the restroom. You know what my biggest fear is? Absolute biggest fear, and any of you that probably can relate, is my husband has a mic on me. My biggest fear is if I run to the restroom that he has not muted my mic. All right, that's like being on a Zoom call at work and accidentally turning the camera on in the restroom. Southern Charm, next show is Tuesday at 7:40 and doing Vintage Kitchen. Awesome. All right, y'all, Southern Charm has some good stuff too. Wouldn't it be scary? You know, you see all those like on YouTube or wherever, you see them, like the Zoom calls and like they're doing something embarrassing. That is like my biggest like fear. Thank you for looking at these plates. Let's do this Lennox and then we'll probably go raid somebody. All right. This is just too pretty not to go home with somebody today. Look at this Lennox. Look at the shape of that. I can't pronounce the name of it. Acanthus. Gold trim leaf shell dish. It is beautiful. It is the older Lennox. It is that blue or the green. It looks blue to me, but I've heard people say that it's green. Stamp. No chips or cracks. It's stunning. And it is going now. Beautiful plate. It's not a plate, it's a dish. And with that, I think we're going to start looking for somebody to raid. I know we have a ton of choices. I'm looking for my phone so I can see who's on. Let me grab my phone so I can see who's on so we can find somebody to raid really quick. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. Please bookmark my upcoming shows. My next show is tomorrow morning. So Monday mornings is all random. So we do all random polls on Monday mornings. And I try to keep stuff priced between $1 and $3 on Mondays. There may be a couple of items. I'm thinking in my head what I have. There may be a few items that are a little bit, but it's really good price, especially if you're a reseller. I try to pass the savings on to you guys. And did I miss something in the chat? I'm sorry, honey, you're pointing. Redeem Rebels. Oh, I missed this. I'm sorry about missing this. Let's see. Redeemed Rebels. Next show is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Absolutely. You are always welcome to promote my show. The only rule I have about promoting is that you don't spam. And nobody really does. People are really respectful of that. All right. Let's see who is on. Oh, look I'm on. Check that out. That's cool. Who else is on? I like to go to somebody who does not have a lot of people in their show. Look at it. Nasta Junk only has 2 people. I do not know who this person is. They're showing a book right now. But it says Vintage Decor. Let's go see this person because they only have 2. We're going to make a new friend. Please hang out and at least just welcome this person really quick. So Nasta Junk. Thank you guys. We're going to go raid. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks for joining us. Buckle up.
Thank you for your purchase from the bin.
See you next time